Hey, sorry I haven't written in a while. It took me all morning just to figure out where to buy stamps here. So, I'm sending you something from my trip, like I promised.
적응이 안 되는 건가?
Last week, I was at yet another barbecue. People here really enjoy their pork chops, let me tell you.
자,
There was
저번에
this
이제
old-timer
제가
there,
그
the host's
여행사
father.
애들을 직접
He was
만나기로
talking about
했죠.
inflation during the war years. He ran upstairs to get something he was excited to show me. He comes back down with a 50 billion dinar bill. He starts talking about, at the time they printed it, inflation was so bad that in the morning it could buy one sandwich. By lunchtime, it could buy half a sandwich. It's a beautiful piece
방금
of printing, don't
500억짜리
you think?
지폐를 하지 않았나?
All these O's lined up next to each other. Anyway, keep it tucked away for safekeeping.
근데 왜 갑자기 산에
The big piece of news on my end is that yesterday, I finally tackled my fear of heights.
이거
Your
조금만
humble
발 잘못
correspondent from the
디뎌도 그냥
Balkans
바로
went
굴러
hang
가겠다.
gliding. Yes, me. Hard to believe, I know. I wasn't gonna do it, but this tour guide guy I met talked me into it, facing my fears and all that. But then the tour guide takes me to the hill where they do the hang gliding, and they're talking about the most crazy thing that happened the week before.
지금 여자친구
You're
시점인
not
건가?
going to believe this. It's a tandem dive, so they have you strapped in with an instructor, right? Well, last week they strapped someone in, but the instructor forgot to strap himself in securely. They go running off the cliff and the instructor tumbles down the hill. The instructor was okay, just some bruises. But now the other person is stuck up in the air with no idea how to fly the thing. Everyone on the ground is freaking out, yelling instructions up in the air about what to do. The girl said later that once she got over the initial terror, it was like she'd been flying a hang glider all her life. It must have been exhilarating, conquering that first wave of fear. And once you're up there, it is amazing. The best thing is that you look down and there are these tiny white cotton ball things on the ground, and then you realize they're sheep. It's not so hard to steer either once you get the hang of it. Today, when I was looking for stamps, I bought one of those inspirational refrigerator magnets in a tourist shop. It says, "Do one thing every day that scares you." I know you think this kind of thing is cheesy, but I actually think it's profound.
기억의 물건 수집. 이거 아니야?
I hope we can do stuff like this on our road trip together.
방금 그 문장인 것
Can we?
같은데? 하루에 한
Sometimes I
번
hate how
너가
we live in
두려워하는 걸
Seattle,
해라.
just sitting around in our own heads all the time. I
그
feel like
말인 것
it's the
같아요.
reason we've been arguing more lately before I left.
아?
If you don't shake the fear out of your system on a regular basis, it curdles up into anger. I don't want to be angry.
어떻게 자동으로 들어오니까 아니냐? 뭐죠 이거는? 우유인가요?
Well, time for your idealistic correspondent to sign off. I'm so used to writing emails that it hurts my hand to write a real letter now. How sad is that? But I promise to write more often.
이제 내려가나? 이제 어디 위에 있는 거야? 현재?
And what about you? I don't expect a real letter, but an email would be great. How is everything going? How did it go with that California assignment? The thing about grape farmers? That was this week, right? I miss you. I feel a little nervous about coming back home to you, but a little nervousness is nothing to worry about. That's what I've learned here. Fear is the mind killer. Love you.
Geez, there you are.
뭐야? 여행사
Nice of you to
직원인가?
grace us with your presence.
뭐야?
I've been looking all over for you. You were supposed to be waiting by the post office, remember?
아, 문제가 생겨서 어쩔
Look,
수
we've all got a
없었어.
lot on our minds since the
근데
accident.
주유소에서
I
만나기로
don't
하지
have
않았어?
time to drive all over Mankato looking for you. Barely gotten any sleep since it happened.
아, 그래도 시간은 맞췄죠.
Visiting hours are until 7, so yes, you'll get a chance to see her.
그럼 크레이그는요?
Craig? Sure, it's only because of him that I'm picking you up. Honestly, some of us weren't so happy about the idea of having you around in the hospital. But he made a good case for you in that altruistic way of his. Said, we're not here to pass judgment.
지금 어디로 가는
What?
거죠?
Hang on.
뭐야 이게?
Shut
뭐예요?
up. This isn't just any kind of phone call. Yes. No. I know.
뭐 파워레인저야?
No, he turned up eventually. Yeah, he's sitting right here.
설마
Do
그
you want to
주황색
talk to
조끼?
him? Should I put him on live with
걔인가?
you? No, I didn't think so.
야 근데 앞을 안 보고 있는데
Yes.
운전을 어떻게 하는 거야?
Okay,
앞
I'll
보이냐?
wait then.
너 앞에 보여? 무슨
What?
일이 있나요? 헬멧
It's
말이에요.
called a headset. It's a
이게?
good way to not wreck your car while you're using a phone. Something I would think you'd be very invested in at this point. Look, it was an accident, I know. Sorry. But you just don't pull a phone out of someone's hand while they're behind the wheel. You should have known better.
나 아무것도 안 했는데.
This is Skycam from KTOE, reporting to you from Mankato. For those of you heading south on I-169 on your commute, Copernicus.
코페르니쿠스?
What?
14 junction.
Don't say anything. He can't hear me. Only you can.
Should be prepared.
Listen, don't say a word. Do you have that locked box? If you do, roll down the window as a sign.
14 looks good until you reach the
창문을 열어보세요.
Hey, do you mind?
A minor
I'm trying to
vent
listen to
defect,
this.
perhaps resulting from the poor visibility.
아,
It's
죄송해요.
okay. You can close it now. No point in making him angry over nothing. Okay, good. You can't let these guys get a hold of that box.
이거 말하는 건가?
He may even have the key on him, this guy. They're taking you to her, but you have to be careful. You need to figure out how much they know.
You were traveling around that area. This is
이봐요.
To the
어디로
hospital.
가고 있는 거죠?
Is this funny to you? Because it's not to me.
for those of you heading
어,
south.
발칸
Do you really want
여행사는요?
to go there? You really want to talk about this? Now?
왜 갑자기
Of all
병원으로 가?
moments? Fine. Listen, I know that she wasn't honest with you, that she couldn't bring herself to be straightforward about her feeling. I know it hurt you, man. But you two'd been growing apart for a while. In the end, she just wanted to be with someone more dedicated. That's the direction she was growing in. It didn't happen overnight, but the trip to Europe and meeting Craig, yeah, that was a big part of it.
당신이 그와 한 통속이라는
Fine,
걸 알아요.
whatever. Yes, we're all working against you. Are you satisfied now?
정체를 깐 거야?
Because this is
까지
hardly
까지
the
말라
time
그랬는데
to bring your
저번에
hurt feeling
그
out onto the
아저씨가
stage. Can I tell you something? You're a great photographer. I mean, nobody doubts that, man. But at some point, if people keep screwing you over, keep betraying you, at a certain point, if everywhere you go, people keep being assholes to you, well, guess what? Maybe you're the asshole.
라디오 켜도
The
돼서
radio? Sure, go ahead.
Copernicus, there's no time to lose. You have to act quickly now, before he puts that helmet on again. Use this bell. Stop him.
주문? 그 주문 그노티세 아우토
What?
그노티세 아우토
Yeah, know thyself. That's what I'm talking about.
뭐라고요?
Gnothiseaton. Greek for know thyself. That's a good start.
이 주문이 효과가
I know
없는데?
you've had a rough 24 hours, but we all have. I mean, she's my sister after all.
He's lying.
동생?
Hang on again, I gotta get this. Yeah, I'm here. We'll be there in just a few minutes. Yeah, he tried it just like we expected. No, I'm fine. Yeah, I agree. It's time to call his bluff.
Step on the brake! Stop him! Do it! Step on the brake!
Ah, what are you doing? Let go!
어떻게 됐어? 이게 사고가 나네? 달린? 나는 멀쩡해? 달린. 없어. 강 이름 같은데 무슨. 뒤에는 편지가 아예 써져 있고. 저기요. 라디오 아줌마. 열쇠. 이거 말고 이거를 열면은 아이씨 또 뭔 퍼즐이야? 어떤 일이 있었는지.
Visiting hours are until 7, so yes, you'll get a chance to see her.
만나기. 이거 같은데.
She thinks you've caused some kind of accident.
Visiting hours are until 7, so yes, you'll get a chance to see her.
You two came by my house, yes? See, that's my silo. There in the background. You two came by my house, yes? See that?
That was some argument.
맹렬하게 싸웠다? 싸웠다?
That was some argument.
뭐야 싸웠다. 여기서 싸웠죠? 그 이상한 휴게소?
Visiting hours are until 7, so
여기
yes, you'll get a chance to see her.
우리가 병원으로 가고 있었으니까
I'm going away for 2 months.
두
I'll
달
be back before you know
동안
it.
떠나니까 비행기
Here's a security deposit.
담보로 상자를 줬죠.
I wasn't gonna do it, but this tour guide guy I met talked me into it.
여행 안내원을 설득했다는 건 행글라이더.
So I'm sending you something from my trip, like I promised. It's great, right? I'll send you something special from Europe to put inside. So I'm sending you something from my trip, like I
여행에서
promised.
구한 무언가를 보내준다고 했어요.
So I'm sending you something from my trip, like I promised. I'm going away for 2 months. Here's a security deposit. So I'm sending you something from my... It's a beautiful piece of printing, don't you think? All these O's lined up next to each other.
The argument back at the diner, maybe there was something missing for her.
Find the man with many eyes. They're the
것
ones who
같은데?
did this to me.
많은 눈?
He has 10 eyes. He wears them around his wrist, like a bracelet.
뭐야? 여기 어디야? 여기 어디야? 야! 지폐? 뭐지 이게? 공공 카세트.
Help me! Save me from this man!
뭐야 이게? 오 잠깐만. 이게 뭐야? 어떻게 된 거지?
Help me! Save me from this man!
Oh, please, I think you flew into the bottle on purpose. What are you, the public defender to all things living?
Fireflies can't talk. Someone has to speak up for him. If the 6 tiny mittens don't fit, you must acquit.
Yeah, I'll set it free in a minute. I just think this light is incredible.
Let's keep him as our pet.
Now's being cruel. I think I'll always remember this.
This is one of those nights, right?
One of what nights?
We'll always have this. If you ever get to a point where you feel like you've lost me, all you have to do is find your way back to here and sit down beside me.
I hope the grass isn't so wet next time.
I'm serious. Write a note to your future self and put it in this bottle. If there's ever a point where things have gotten totally screwed up between us, that moment isn't real. This one is. All you have to do is find your way back to me.
What if I can't find the way?
That's why I've made you this beacon. A bottle with a green light to show you the way. Sense of direction isn't exactly your strong suit, Copernicus. Let's make a pact. With this honorable firefly as witness, I promise my screwed up future self won't mess this up for us.
I don't know. My future self can be a real jerk.
Mine too. We're going to make mistakes. Hurt each other. Everyone does it. So, time traveler, what news? What wisdom do you bring from the future?
That it's never too late. That any mistake can be fixed.
Good, if that's what you believe.